Hi everybody, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm Elizabeth with Petals and Parchment, and I'm so excited to have you here as we begin the Rolodex challenge for 2025. First and most importantly, I want to sincerely thank you, each and every one of you, from the bottom of my heart for being here and joining me for this adventure today. I've been so blown away by the positive responses that I've received about this project, and honestly, your excitement has really helped prepare me for this endeavor, which admittedly seems very daunting due to the sheer scale of it and the vulnerable nature of what I have in mind. So a little bit about the challenge. My plan is to release a video every Saturday for a year. So we'll have 52 videos at the end of it all, each with a focus on gratitude, mindfulness, and creativity through your art practice. These themes will revolve around the seasons. And I'd like to first start off by inviting you to treat this as an opening ceremony of sorts. Consider this a gentle transition from your daily life into a sacred space of quiet reflection and deep trust. I want to let you know a little bit about what to expect with this first video. So today I'll be showing you how to create an artistic Rolodex card using images from the kit I created, but also from supplies that we all have in our art stashes. But before we get to that part, I'd like to start by saying that everything that I show you that's presented here is completely optional, and you don't have to do anything that doesn't feel authentic or really resonate with you. So just skip any parts that don't suit you. I wanted to make sure to address that right away. When we begin, I'm going to invite you to join me as we light a ceremonial candle and bless our art space and our endeavors with positivity and comfort, and asking for inner wisdom and guidance. If you'd like to do the same, then go ahead and select a candle you'll use for this special occasion each week. This will, I think, assist us in treating this time, delving into our art practice, as sacred and special, which is really the feeling I'm hoping to foster throughout this project. And to further assist you on this year-long journey of creativity, gratitude, and reflection, I would like to guide you on a short mindful meditation where we will begin by taking a few deep breaths and then envisioning a perfect and safe sacred space. The reason for this is to tune into our bodies and relax and search inwards for the answers that might not otherwise come so easily. In future videos, I plan to suggest that we light our candles, take a few deep breaths, and return to those spaces we envisioned during this first step by picturing it in our minds before we get started. So if you need to rewatch that portion each week to get to that space again, by all means do that. I'll have chapters in each of these videos so you can easily skip ahead and find what you're looking for. I've given 5 prompt ideas for each week of the month. You can select one that I've given or come up with one of your own. Go ahead and grab your supplies, find a candle if you'd like one, a comfortable space, and let's get started. Let's go ahead and light our candles now. I've selected a wild jasmine, gardenia, and magnolia candle. It smells really lovely. Now I'm going to begin the short meditation for this practice. And the idea behind this meditation is to create your ideal sanctuary, a place where you feel safe to create and search for answers and encouragement and positive energy. So if you'll start by taking a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let your shoulders relax. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, and imagine yourself standing on a peaceful path. The air is fresh and you can hear the soft sounds of nature around you. Begin walking along this path, feeling the ground beneath your feet. As you move forward, you notice a door ahead of you. Take a moment to look at it. What color is the door? What does it look like? When you're ready, reach out and open the door. Step inside and discover your secret safe room. This is your perfect space designed just for you. Maybe it's a cozy book nook filled with soft light and the scent of old pages. Perhaps it's a room full of pillows where you can sink into comfort. Maybe it's a rustic log cabin with a warm, crackling fire in the corner. Or a bright, airy space overlooking the beach with a hammock swaying gently in the breeze. What do you picture when you open that door? Take a moment to settle into this space. Feel how safe and calm it is. This is where your higher self lives, where you can retreat to create, reflect, and connect with your inner wisdom. Now, let your heart and soul guide you. What do they want to tell you about 2025? What is your focus for the year? Take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for and what you hope to create in the year ahead. When you're ready, take a deep breath and slowly return to the present moment, carrying this sense of calm and inspiration with you. Open your eyes and let's begin creating. If you've purchased my Reflective Rolodex kit, then you'll have been given a PDF which has an active link in it to go to a Google Drive folder where I upload bonus pages each month. And in those bonus pages, you'll find some sentiments and word of the year choices. There is a second page of word of the year choices. I've already cut into mine. As we begin this creative journey together, I'd like to invite you to choose a word of the year. Just one word that resonates with you right now. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it's all right if it changes later. Think of this word as a guiding light, a gentle reminder of what you want to cultivate in your life in 2025. Take a few moments to reflect on the list of words that I've provided or on any word that comes to your heart. Maybe it's something like gratitude, joy, growth, or peace, but let it be a word that feels like a warm embrace, something that inspires you and makes you feel excited about the year ahead. Remember, this exercise isn't about pressure or perfection. It's simply about finding a word that feels right for this moment, a little gift that you give yourself to carry through the year. Once you've chosen your word, hold it close as we create our first Rolodex card together, focusing on gratitude and the beautiful possibilities that lie ahead for each of us. I'd like to go ahead and take a moment to share the word of the year that I've chosen for myself, which is calm. I'm going to be a little vulnerable here and share some things with you, and I hope that's okay. I want to consider this a safe space for everyone. Over the past year, I've noticed how often I feel overwhelmed pretty much all the time. I just rush through my days with a sense of urgency that leaves me drained Like many of you, I juggle a lot of responsibilities, and sometimes it feels like I'm just racing the clock to get everything done. This year, I really want to slow down, and I want to embrace calm as a way of being. For me, this means giving myself permission to pause more and to breathe and to approach my days with more intention, and a lot less of the frantic energy that I've been showing up with. For me, it's going to be about finding moments of peace despite the busyness and learning to savor little moments. I definitely don't have all the answers, and I know it's going to be a work in progress, but rather than set definite resolutions that I will inevitably give up on in a few weeks, I really want to instead embrace the word calm and try to return to that thought, that carefully selected, deliberate intention whenever things start to feel a little frenzied again throughout the year. I'm committed to making space in my life for calm, even in small ways. I hope this choice that I've made inspires you to consider what you want to cultivate in your own life this year. And if you've chosen a word of the year, I'd love to hear about it in the comments or in the Facebook group. I really hope that we can all begin to support each other in this journey of reflection and growth. And I really hope to collectively celebrate our creativity, build true connection, and embrace what matters most. Okay, so another freebie that I've included in the Google Drive that I told you about is the set of journaling prompts. And so these are the ones for the first 2 weeks. And this week, week 1, I've suggested how we can reflect and reset. So we can look back on 2024 and search for 3 lessons that we learned in the previous year. Perhaps you would want to focus on letting go, something that you're ready to leave behind as you move into this new year. Do a gratitude reset. List 5 things you're grateful for from last year and 5 that you hope to experience this year. Maybe you have some unfinished business. Are there any loose ends that you'd like to tie up or revisit? And then, of course, the word of the year. Hopefully you've already chosen one when you get to this point, but here you can reflect a little deeper on that and choose a word that will guide you and explain why it resonated with you. Okay, so in the kit, there are some journaling cards. There's some blank ones as well. There's some that say I'm grateful for. And then there are some that are just lined and don't have any words on them. And I made them the size to fit on the back of the Rolodex card so that you could have a spot to do some journaling if you'd like. And if this isn't enough space to journal for you, then I thought of a few ideas to give you some more space. You could put a piece of washi tape here and then do a flip out so that you have the front and back of the card to journal on. And then that would, of course, also give you the spot on the back of the Rolodex to journal. Or I also had another thought. If you wanted, you could glue 2 Rolodex cards back to back. One side will be your decorated side, and then leave the top open so that you could insert as many journaling cards into the center as you want. And this would also kind of make it a hidden journaling card. That way your thoughts could remain private if someone decides they want to look at your artwork. So those are some ideas that I had for the journaling portion. I actually create journals. It's my passion, and I actually don't journal anymore. I used to when I was a teenager, but I don't anymore. After someone read my journal, I just fell away from it and I could never really get back into it. But what I like about this practice is that this card is small, so it works for someone like me who doesn't journal a whole lot. And also another idea I had, maybe journaling isn't comfortable for you either. So you could just do bullet points. So say you're, you know, looking back on the 3 lessons that you learned last year, and you could just list them individually, and that could be your reflection for the week. So this is really about tuning into you and what works for you, and making the Reflective Rolodex art practice that works for you in every way possible. From this set of encouraging sentiments, I'm going to make a selection that I think goes with the word of the year that I've chosen for myself, which is calm. And for me, I think I'm going with every day is a new beginning. And I'm choosing that because, well, a few reasons, because it is just a good reminder, but also if I lose my calm, which is bound to happen, right, then tomorrow's another chance to get it right again. And I think it's important that we give ourselves that grace to make mistakes and then continue showing up for ourselves anyway. So I've selected a Rolodex card that I want to begin building. I would encourage you to do the same. What I've sort of done is just start to collect little bits and pieces that I think might fit, and then I'm just going to experiment with the elements on the page until I find a composition that I'm satisfied with. And that's going to take a little bit of experimentation. I really work intuitively when I collage. So I start with some things that I know I'd like to include, and some of them make it and some of them don't make the cut. And I just kind of listen to my heart as I go and do what feels right in the moment. If you're more of a planner, then definitely plan that stuff out ahead of time, and then just do whatever work style works best for you. For me, it's having all the elements at hand and then working to find something that looks pleasing to the eye. Right now, I'm just inking up all of the elements I think I might use. I'm using Stampin' Up! Almost Amethyst, and I've had some questions about where to find this inker. These little finger daubers are at any craft store. I think you can get them at Michael's or Joann. And then the Hubby's Love Handles are from 4 Girls Stole My Heart on Etsy. She has all different shapes. She has mermaids, tails, and hearts, and things like that. And that's where I got this from. So I chose these minds because they have flowers blooming in them, and I really want to cultivate beautiful thoughts this year. So that's another reason that I chose these particular elements. But you could use stickers from your stash, you can use music paper, you can use cutouts from magazines, anything that speaks to you. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about vision boards when I leave the house. I was at the thrift store the other day and I heard a woman say, I need to look through the magazines for my vision board. And I had just heard someone say that the day before as well. So I think it's really great that everyone's wanting to sort of take the time to cultivate what they want most out of life. It's really important that we take some time to nurture ourselves. I really love these papers with shreds of things in them. Just different feels of paper. Whenever I come across things like this, I try to grab them because textiles are my favorite part of paper play. And I love old music sheets. So there's some of that. I also grabbed some art supplies to have handy here. I've got some gold glitter and some gold paints, different metallic gold paints. I've got some texture paste, so I might be doing some stenciling work with texture paste. I've got a few of my favorite stencils handy. I grabbed a few paint pens. I've got silver and gold here, and I've got a black pen and a white pen. And I've also got some, oh, what is this called? Gold wax. And this was something I wanted to show you that I made, I don't know, a year or two ago, called Make My Mark. I found out I was having trouble remembering mark making that I like to do when I'm doing mixed media art, so I just created a little flip through booklet that has some different mark ideas in it, of things that I could draw when I'm making marks. So this is something to have handy if you're like me and you draw a blank when you're mark making. So I just wanted to show you that. I really enjoy mixed media, but I don't do it very often, so I thought we could incorporate some of that into the Rolodex. If you're making the little Rolodex box like this, you're gonna want to probably make your cards a little bit flatter, but I think if you use the book Rolodex that we made this week, then you could go with a little bit more 3D effect because the pages are quite forgiving. You can fit something a little bulkier in there. But really, it's all completely up to you. Whatever you feel comfortable doing, whatever speaks to your heart, by all means do that. Okay, so thinking about my word of the year, calm, and this being the first entry, I'm just going to take a moment to think about what I'm most grateful for with regards to the past year and where I hope to go this year. And then on the back, I'm probably going to put a few bullets of things that I want to work on cultivating in my life. So I'm going to take a few moments to do that. Okay, so I've written some things down that I'm grateful for, and I've also taken a moment to write some notes to myself with regards to remaining calm this year. I can always take a deep breath and pause, and I can choose to respond instead of reacting, and I can always take things off of my plate instead of constantly adding more. So I think those things are a good place to start for 2025. It's actually quite a lot, and so that's where I'm going to stop. And I'm also grateful that the card is small because although it was easy to write those things, it's not always easy to do them in the beginning. So Now comes the really super fun part, in my opinion, is decorating the card. So I think I want to make beautiful music this year, so I'm probably going to put this down, and I don't want to cover up all of the pretty decoration on the card, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Maybe I'll tear this down a little bit more here and see which head I like best. Music also makes me calm when I'm having difficulty self-regulating. There's a particular song that's my very favorite. It's called The Lark Ascending, and it's an instrumental piece by Vaughan Williams, a composer. I believe he was in the 1800s, and every time I listen to it, I just feel so much better. I sometimes listen to it on repeat, and it just melts my worries away. So if you get a chance, listen to The Lark Ascending by Vaughan Williams. I really like how this looks, so I'm gonna go ahead and commit to it. I think I'm just gonna double check that I don't want the purple head, and I do like this one, so I am gonna, ooh, I forgot this little heart was here, so I'm gonna put that somewhere too, because I have so much love in my life. I'm so lucky that I want to definitely add that. A tip when you're not filming, if you take a picture of your collage the way that it is so that you can build it back up the way that you had it. Another way is if you remove things kind of together and remember the order that you had them. Since I'm filming with my phone, I can't take a picture right now. There's an option there too. If you don't have so many elements, you can lift up one side and glue down, then lift up the other side so that it doesn't move. But I think I'm confident I can get back to what I just had there. My goal moving forward after this initial long video is to have the videos be no more than 5 or 10 minutes. So you have just a short video to watch each week. I don't want it to be this huge daunting commitment that you fall away from, but really something that you can just steal away a few minutes and work on your art practice and have time for it, really, no matter how busy you are. This first video is just a little bit longer because I wanted to help us find our sacred space and also go over some details. But I won't be repeating those in future videos. Just this first one, just to give you an idea of what to expect. And remember to stay clear of the Rolodex holes on the bottom if you're planning on using this little Rolodex box so that it is a working Rolodex. I really love these little fuzzy pieces. I think they add a lot. Thank you so much to everybody who's going on this journey with me. I hope that it's rewarding and that we all learn a lot about ourselves and progress in the various ways that we hope to this year, while also treating ourselves with loving kindness and patience when we might falter a little bit. Okay, so this is the front of my very first card, and then I'm going to grab some washi tape and make that flip that we talked about. I think this is a pretty one that matches the light purple hues in the Rolodex cards here. Okay, so I'm just gonna line this up and try to cut down the washi tape a smidge to be the length for the card. And then a good tip with washi is to, a lot of it isn't super sticky and will kind of fall apart, so if you just run a glue stick on the back of it before you stick it down. Then I'm just going to cut the excess washi tape. I've got a baby wipe here to get rid of the glue on my fingers. Then I'm just going to cut away this excess tape so that it lines up with the edge of my card. And I'm just going to use my baby wipe to clean off my scissors so those don't get all gunky. And then one last thing I'd like to do, oh, it looks like I have a tiny piece of washi tape here that I'm just going to get rid of. Okay, so there it's like a little book page here. And then the last thing I want to do is glue down my reminder that every day is a new beginning. And I've got some more textury things here, some pretty lace bits. This is a really good way with such a small canvas to use up your little scrap fabric bits. This is just a favorite of mine. This kind of sheer tattered fabric is just beautiful. Like so. And then this will conclude our first card for the year. I hope you found something valuable in these lessons and something that you could possibly return to help you in your practice throughout the rest of the year. For me, that calm space is definitely overlooking a beach with a hammock and a view of the ocean, where I could just sit at a really bright window and play with paper all day. That's my dream. So thank you so much for joining me today. It really means the world to me that you're excited for this project, and I hope that you'll join me every week on Saturday as we delve a little deeper and look for things to be grateful and excited about in our lives around us. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye!